I'd love for you just to give a quick, brief introduction and kind of just, again, an overview of your journey at the Stay Young Center for Women and what inspired you to really start your transformation.
Okay, well, my name is Leah. I'm a nurse. I'm short, 5 foot. Well, I was a little taller at one point, but I'm about 5'1.5". So it was always hard to keep weight off. But I've always been working out all my life, stay active as I could. And I always try to eat well, eat the right foods, although different times I might have gotten off that path a little bit. Enjoy going out to dinner. As I got older, though, I was always really small, really thin, but as I got older and approached perimenopause and then menopause, that's when I started putting on weight. I'm 58, actually I'll be 59 in March, and after going through it, and nobody really talked to me about it, I didn't know what was going on, I just felt like I was gaining the weight. And it just got to where everything I tried, I wasn't able to get the weight off anymore. And I was getting really frustrated, made me feel older, couldn't fit into a lot of my clothes anymore, and I lost confidence. I did manage to get down on just dropping a lot of carbs at one point. Then I had a lot of stress in my life, gained it back. That's when I came here and I saw the ad on Facebook and said, well, let me give it a try, and tried the red light therapy. I really enjoyed it. In fact, it's one of the things I enjoyed very much coming to do for spot reduction, and then trying the trizepatide. Like I said, it was sort of a life changer because I was 161 pounds. I got down a few pounds on my own doing keto, and then when I started the medication, I got down to where I'm now 127 pounds, and I actually got down to 126 within like three and a half months, and I'm still on the medicine for like another 5 weeks. I want to get down to about 120 pounds, but plus the teaching here on the diet and what you should be eating helps. Being a nurse, I knew a lot already, but a lot of people don't. Yeah. And then there's exercises, and the people are very encouraging here. That's what I like. They send you where to go on the website and different things to look at, and everybody's been encouraging here every time I come. It's something I always look forward to coming here. Like I said, it empowers you to come here when everybody's rooting for you, and they know, like, if I've lost a few pounds, they know my name, they know that I've lost it, and they bring it to my attention, and so it's been a nice place to come.
Oh, that's fantastic to hear. I love that. I appreciate you sharing that, and the fact that you feel that way when you come in here that's really our goal. That's our goal for everyone coming in for this.
It's been a nice place to come.
So kind of backing up, like when you first jumped in here, when you first stepped in here, what was going on for you? Say, like, how were you feeling physically, emotionally? Like, what was going on there when we first met?
Well, I said I felt like I didn't have control of my body, I guess. Mm-hmm. I'd say at this point, like I said, when you reach that stage, and for me anyway, I just felt like I didn't have control over it anymore, and I'm somebody that's OCD and I like to be in control of everything. So I was just hoping that I could get some of that back coming here, and I did. Like I said, I feel very confident now. I feel more energy, and I fit into a lot of clothes. In fact, a lot of my clothes are too big now. So some jeans and they fell right down. So, that was good.
Wow.
And I know I'm going to continue with this now. One thing I learned is I can't let things in my life happen and let myself lose what I got. Like I'd have to stay at this weight. I don't want to ever gain it again. And it's just, it helps you in so many ways, health-wise. Cholesterol going down, but it's better on your bones when you weigh less as you get older, and hypertension. There's just so many different benefits with it. So, and just liking the way I look in the mirror. So, I'm going on a trip in a few weeks, going to Punta Cana, so I feel better in my bathing suit.
You're ready. You're ready for it. Good for you.
So this place, like I said, it empowered me to feel a lot better and get back what I needed.
You deserve that, man. I mean, you've done the work, and I think that's so brilliant too. Again, just the discovery of like keeping a cadence in order to keep what we've earned, so to speak.
Yeah.
You know, it's like the definition of insanity. We heard this. It's like doing the same thing and expecting a different result. And it's kind of like, well, I've gained a lot of weight and lost a lot of weight in my years too, and know the things, I mean, that keep me there, and having that plan in place. Because it's interesting, because if we went and got like full body liposuction, like the most extreme, and we're like, wow, like this is great, I'm exactly where I want to be. If we didn't practice these things, we still would gain. You know,
right, just in different spots.
Exactly.
Is what I'm told. That's why I thought about it. I didn't want to get liposuction because I'm like, yeah, I don't want to deal with that. But no, like I said, I want to stay where I'm at, and I'm like, one of the things I do, like I said, is I eat less. I used to always get seconds. I don't get seconds anymore. That was one thing I learned. Eat slower, and I get fuller much quicker now. So
great.
And I said, food doesn't have as much of a hold on me. I still love food, but it doesn't have the hold on me that it used to have. So
that's great. Now you're in control.
And I learned, like I said, I don't eat as much. I eat probably a quarter of what I used to eat.
Wow.
So.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great. I'd love to like switch gears a little bit and just talk about during your transformation, during your time here, and just have you just share some, I guess, some highlights or some memorable moments that you had in here, maybe hitting different landmarks, seeing your progress when you've noticed this, noticed that. Anything that you could kind of share with us, that'd be great.
Well, having my body scan done, that was weird at first. I looked like a clay person, but when I saw the first one compared with the ones that came afterwards, and I saw the difference in the body mass, that was like pivotal, seeing for myself how much smaller I've gotten, and seeing how the therapy works, the red light therapy, and how I was getting spot reduction in especially my abdomen. I think that's a big problem area for women, and seeing how many inches I lost and how much. And I even noticed how my posture improved with the weight loss, and how my back and my whole body was in a better posture which is good for my back and everything. But that was like very important to me when I saw that. It was pretty nice to see that changed also, because I didn't even notice that my posture had changed with weight gain. So I'd say that. My skin, like I said, I got the red light therapy to my face too, and my neck. And I said I could see how I was glowing afterwards. I think that this has been a tremendous improvement in my life. So I'm so glad that I came here.
That's huge.
Yeah.
And we're pumped to have had you, because again, a system is only as good as someone who's going to come in and harness it. So we appreciate
the M-Sculpt. I'm sorry, and I've been doing that, which it works on your muscle groups, and I've been getting it to my abdomen and my buttocks. I guess I'm the only one that's doing the buttocks.
Yeah.
But that, I've noticed my abdomen I haven't really looked at my butt, I can feel it, but I noticed my abdomen getting tighter. So that's nice. And of course I got to carry it on with the gym, working out at the gym.
Sure.
And I feel so much better at the gym too. I used to have a much bigger gut, and it was hard to run and jump and do the stuff that I'm doing. And I still have just a little bit here. I want it so I get down to 120 and lose it all, but it's so much easier now at the gym, fitting into my clothes and just the way I feel when I'm working out. So
that's huge. That's huge. And so I guess thinking about like some tips, like what are some like, I guess, key changes or strategies that you've done along the way or implemented or said, okay, this is now Leah's way. This is the way now that you could share with others?
Cravings, if I get them, like I said, I try not to follow them. Or if I do, you have to let yourself eat what you want. I mean, I was on strict keto, and now I can pretty much eat what I want because I'm eating less. But what I've done is, okay, I get cravings and I want something, but just in moderation is what I've learned. Like I had, watching the Bills game, which was an awesome game last night. And I don't know if you guys watched it, but it was like
I didn't see that.
It was like the best game. But my boyfriend made this artichoke dip and these tortilla chips, and they were very salty. I know I shouldn't be eating that, but I just had a few. But knowing when to stop, and just to, like I said, you got to splurge a little bit. You have to have that piece of chocolate cake. Enjoy yourself, enjoy life, but just do it in moderation. Don't try to overeat. I'm trying to prevent that from happening. Occasionally it might happen, and then you gain a few pounds on the scale, but then get right back to where you were. And just remember, and as you get older, each decade, you need less and less food, and your body will get used to it. So go to restaurants, you order, you get these huge plates, bring most of the food home. Eat what you can when you stop when you're full and bring food home. I had like 2 more dinners or 2 lunches at work when I did it that way. Yeah. So that works for me, just being conscious of it and remembering not to overindulge myself. And I feel so much better. And I don't get that guilty feeling too. So.
And you're kind of having your cake and eat it too, so to speak. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Because you have to, like I said, enjoy yourself too. I love pasta. I had pasta all weekend, but I just don't overeat.
And that's the thing is like, how do you sustain? Because that's what we're all after. That's why like I love what you're saying is because that is the key. The question that all of us say is like, okay, diet. We've all done diets, and then you get done with them, and you just like explode because you go back to your own ways. And so it's like what you're doing is exactly it. Like this is a sustainable thing that you feel like I'm enjoying myself. I don't feel like I'm missing a ton of stuff. Like I could do this.
Right.
Like, I could do this for longevity. That's key.
You get used to it. Your body gets used to it, and the weight loss too. So you guys know, and they'll tell you it's like this. It's not a straight line.
Yep.
I'll go back and forth up to 6 pounds at different times, and depending what you eat. But what you look is a trend, and like I said, I'm down into my mid to high 120s now, and I know it's going to go down again, and then it goes between a range again down below there. So just so people know, you're not. If all of a sudden you jump up a few pounds, it's going to go back down as long as you keep doing what you're doing, and so. And it's a lifestyle change and something you have to continue for the rest of your life. Don't consider it a diet. Just consider it the way you're going to live the rest of your life. So.
Absolutely. Because it's also a means to how we want to feel. That's the interesting thing. It's kind of like when we eat like crap, we feel like crap. I know I do, and pretty much most people I speak to say the same, you know. Like,
and if you overeat that full feel, and I hated that when you just feel so full and you can't move. But you'll notice you will feel full, and as soon as you start to feel full, stop much sooner.
That's your warning system.
But the medication, like it helps tremendously with that. So.
That's great. So I'd love to touch on your results again. We spoke about this previous to when we started recording here, but you've lost over 30 pounds. It was 34 pounds and 28.6 inches on your body. And you've focused on the midsection. You focused on where else with the laser?
Oh, I had it on my thighs, my arms, my midsection, my neck, and my face.
Beautiful.
Are you talking about the
for the
M-skull?
Yeah, the laser first, but the high fem you did were on the
my abdomen and my buttocks.
Wow.
So,
that's great. Yeah. That's great. So I mean, like that's phenomenal. So, and you talked a lot about the benefits that you've seen, but I'd love to have you break that down, like from that day one to now, like how has your life benefited? Like what's different now for you?
I was very depressed. And I don't have that depression anymore.
Wow.
Because I kept looking in the mirror and I just hated it. And it's much improved now. I'm happy. I look good in my clothes, dresses. I can wear stuff that's more clingy and tight-fitting now. And it's a good feeling. The way I walk and just the feeling you can feel when you lose that weight and just the way you carry yourself. And I guess... Like I said, the depression has been alleviated, and then I have the confidence.
Oh my God, that's amazing.
People see me and they go, "Oh, you've lost so much weight," and they're amazed at it. And then I talk to them about it. So
yeah, that's huge. That's huge. Where else have you seen? Because I mean, like just what you said there is so giant. I related to that too. In fact, I was talking to Lindsay with my own journey. That was very similar to me. When I was 17, I was like, I'm carrying myself differently. What is happening here? So like, how else have you seen that go into the rest of your life? Have you seen that kind of show up in other places that you're like, wow, like this is different?
Well, at my job, like I said, I have more confidence. I'm a nurse. I go into homes, home care, and more energy, getting up and moving around, going into places, and it feels you just have the confidence when you're meeting with people and talking with them. The compliments that you get. Going into stores and buying clothes, that's definitely, and you can, getting the smaller sizes and like I said, and you just feel more youthful.
Absolutely.
When you get that weight off. So.
And that's ultimately what we're all going for.
Everybody wants to stay young, and that's what the center's for.
That's it. We're all fighting the great fight, you know. But it's also amazing too because it's something to be very proud of. You know what I mean? Like what you've done, the progress that you've made. I mean, it's not easy because there's temptation everywhere. We all love the taste of food, like we do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it seemed like there was a greater cause for you. You were like, hey, this is kind of like it needs to be a new non-negotiable for where I'm at. So What would you say you're most proud of yourself on this journey so far?
My commitment. Like I said, it was a big commitment, and seeing that I'm getting to where I wanted to go. My first goal was just to be like 135. And then when I got there, I go, I can keep doing this. So, and I'm into my 120. I haven't been in my 120s since my early 40s. So I would say it was my commitment and just to keep going past even where I thought I would be. So I exceeded my goals, and I still got to get there to 120. So, and I think that'll be good at that point.
And that's really great that you have taken your initial goal, and then when you got to it, you set your next goal. Because that's just a really...
I just kept lowering it because I said, I can do this. And I knew I still felt like, because when you're younger, when you're younger, you feel have more lean body mass than when you're older. So like I said too, that's why I said, I want to keep going. I want to get down to about 120 to get to that same body mass where I was. So
good for you. That's amazing. So, would you recommend Stay Young Center to family, friends?
Definitely.
What about it? Like, what would you say about it? Is something?
Well, I said that the people really care here, and they're with you every step. You can call them whatever you want, and they're always helpful. They're always smiling, and they get to know you personally. And it's been a pleasure to come here. So it's been a nice place to be at.
That's great. That's great, and we've enjoyed having you. And your stories around here are pretty legendary. So which is awesome. Again, everyone's inspired by seeing what you've done. And I think that's a cool thing is because we'll hear it too, the patients, like they know you, they're like, oh, she's lost this. And it's like, that's a really...
I've had quite a few people along the way too. And like I said, all on the same journey. So it's nice.
Let me ask you this. So what if there was someone who was hesitant? They'd come in, they were hesitant, kind of hemming and hawing. They were someone in a situation who they'd gone to the gym, they tried Weight Watchers, they tried this, tried that, like a lot of us as well. And they didn't have the success they wanted. But what would be your advice to them about if they're on the fence?
Well, I tell them to come here. You got to try, because they address every point. The diet, which they might not have tried, they give you the plans. They show, of course, if you have your own, like I had my keto, you were fine with that. But they should give you the exercise plans. They do the light therapy, the medication, but they cover every area. And the website is very useful. But if you get the help that you need, then you'll succeed. Because like I said, I succeeded and went quicker than I ever did on my own. I don't think I would be here. So
that's amazing. That's amazing. And what about the investment? So I think that's many times what we see is what stands in the way of someone really, really jumping to the next level of their life is the hesitation on the investment, where they've been burned in something before and they don't want to get that to happen again, or some of their hesitation, maybe I can't do it, whatever it may be. So what about to that person who's saying like, I could, but that's the hesitation, and if the investment is the only thing in the way of them getting to where they are and say where you're at now, the aftermath, what would be your advice to them?
I was hesitant myself, and you could vouch for that because it took me a long time. But it was worth it. Everything costs, you were investing in something, everything in this world costs money, but this was worth it to get your health back and to feel good about yourself and to have your mind better also, better focus, and the depression gone. I'd say it's worth it. You spend your money on a lot of things. I even heard Lindsay say spends her money on coffee and different stuff during the day, and you think about how much you spend on things, spend it on something that's going to make a big difference in your life. So that
sounds like a huge return on investment that you got there. What a foundation.
I make my own coffee in the morning.
Absolutely. And hey, Leah, I appreciate you coming in here. Really commend you on the results that you've done, and again, thank you so much for being open to sharing your story as well. This is definitely going to touch other lives, and
good.
We're rooting for you to get to your future goals here, and know you're going to hit that 120, and we're here along the way for you too. So is there any other thing that you'd like to share, any other words of encouragement or anything like that to the audience, or any final thoughts?
Just you can do it. It's like, just if this is what you want, and this is what most women, I know women, it's one of the biggest problems. Especially as we get older, but a lot of young, even my daughter's 30 and she's got to lose weight. But it's worth it, and just give yourself the commitment to it and try it. And I think people succeed here. So as long as you're willing to put the commitment in, I think you should give it a try. I definitely would. It worked for me. It worked for a lot of people here, and you're worth it to get yourself there. So
Totally.
yeah.
Killer job.
All right.
Yeah, you rock it. I'm super proud of you. I mean, like, you look great. You look
Thanks.
great, and I can even tell in the way that you're carrying yourself, like you said. But the fact that you were able to literally just like reverse, and I guess you'd say, take harness of that depression, turn it off, is amazing. Like that's amazing.
Get my mind on other things now. So.
Well, what do you think that was? Like, what do you think, I guess, was causing that I guess level, that unhappiness or the thoughts of that? I mean, and how would it relate to like the weight loss or body?
Well, it
image?
was because I felt like I looked horrible. I just felt like I said, loss of control. And I think a lot of people, as you get older, you feel that because some things you can't control. But as you get older, I do everything I possibly can. I get different treatments. In fact, my face might be a little blotchy now. I got laser therapy to my face. But I do everything that I can. I get microneedling, things like that. But like I couldn't get the weight off, and everything I tried, and your body gets used to certain things. So I think it was the fact that I was in control of myself again, where I think people need to be, obviously. And when you have that, then you can start to look at other things around you.
That is huge. That's huge. Good for you.
Yeah.
Good for you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And we're just thrilled to be a part of your journey.
Thanks.
And see where it goes to the next level, man. I can't wait to see you at 120 and
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Exactly where you want to be.
I'm hoping by the middle, another month, I'm hoping to be there. So.
Well, just like you said, your consistency that is it. And that is the key. As long as you stay consistent, it doesn't need to be like perfect and consistent. You can have, like you said, that lifestyle that you want and have like the smarts and, okay, I'm just gonna have a couple of these chips. That was good. I mean, and be consistent.
85 of
with
them,
that.
and then, you know.
Yeah, and you'll continue to progress. You
Yeah.
know? So it's like keep doing what you're doing. It's working. It's a great formula.
That's what they say for it. Consistency and moderation. When just thinking about it, it's focus now. It's not, food is great, but you have to think of your body. Like I say, it's a temple, and your body, how much calories do you need a day, and you tend to start to get satisfied with less.
That's
so
great.
This time I'm going to repeat the good stuff.
Yes.
And get a better outcome. So.
Absolutely. Congrats. And thanks again for coming in and doing this. Really, really appreciate your time.
No
doing this and
problem.
getting to share your stories. So you are officially the patient of the month
Oh, I am.
in January.
I didn't know there was a patient.
Yeah, we wanted to award you with that because again, like you're an inspiration. You're an inspiration to, you know, people around you who are seeing what you've done and to future patients in here who basically want to find the guts to do what you did. Because when you're in a situation like that, and I understand it, you feel like you're in the dark and you feel like this is not even where I want to be, or having this discussion or even these thoughts. It's a very profound thing to take that next step and then to follow through on it and do what you did, and again be consistent. That's all it takes. I mean, everything's there. All you got to do is just lean into it, and once you do, it's just like, oh my God, you got the reward. So I think I could think of no better person to represent us than you. So I appreciate you greatly taking our system and utilizing it like you did to represent. So thank you.